I'm Ben Pugh, and you're listening to Impact Parenting with Perspective. This podcast is all about helping parents manage the mental and emotional drama that comes with parenting teens so they can focus on what's most important, building rock-solid relationships and having a powerful impact on their teen's life. Join me each week as I dive into real tools to help you and your teen turn struggles into strengths. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your host, Ben Pugh. I've got my sidekick. Wait, can I call you my sidekick, or do you prefer host?
No, I can be your sidekick. That's fine.
She's actually the brains behind this operation. Okay, maybe.
Absolutely not.
We tag team. We both share a brain. Anyways, thank you for coming and listening. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics. And this topic is how to connect with your teenager. Lately, I've had a handful of parents tell me, like, man, nothing I do. Like, my teen doesn't want to connect with me. They won't hang out with me. They won't, I don't know, they just complain that their teen won't connect with them. So today we are going to teach you some super simple yet super powerful things that you can do to better connect with your teenager. One of the moms recently was like, yeah, just since my teen has been a teenager, things haven't been the same. Let me also just throw in like the biology or the evolutionary, I don't know, like 10,000 years ago, if you have a teenage son, by the way, 10,000 years ago, at like 14, 15, 16, teenage boys were like drawn to like leave the herd. They had to get away from all their families so they wouldn't inbreed, and they had to go out on their own, prove their worth. Like if your teen feels like they're pulling out of kind of the familial structure, one thing that has helped a lot of parents is when they keep in mind, like, oh yeah, 10,000 years ago, that would have been completely normal. I hate to tell you this, like we are still operating as the same species that we were roughly 10,000 years ago. Just so you know. Did you know that, Cortni?
I did not know that, but it's ironic that you talk about that because I am struggling with a decision to let my child go downtown Chicago for St. Patrick's Day with so many kids from his grade. And I'm like, I need him to learn to have those experiences. And you're talking about sending a teenager out so they don't inbreed. I'm sending him out so he can get life experience.
I don't think the inbreeding thing is a problem anymore. Like I don't even remember. I saw this on the History Channel. I don't know. And they're like, it is natural for teens to pull away and start to disconnect. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But I talk to moms all the time that are like, I just don't understand why my teenage son doesn't want to hang out with me all day, every day. And I'm like, well, you're just not as cool as you were back when he was 5. Like things change.
Did you hang out with your parents when you were a teenager?
Oh, heck no. I wanted
Yeah,
to
I sure did.
make it on my own.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like I should be grateful for the time that I do get. I mean, he's a lot nicer to me than I was to my parents.
And do you ever tell him that? Like, dude, thank you for being nicer to me than I was to my.
No, I sure don't. I probably the opposite. Maybe I should do that, actually.
Well, let's talk about some of these principles when it comes to connection. One of the things that I teach that I feel like is different from most parenting experts. Honestly, guys, parenting experts focus more on the child than they do the parents. And one of the things that I really try hard to do is I don't want to focus on your teenager because you don't have any control over your teenager. I want to focus on you and changes you can be making. And when it comes to connecting with your teen, it is very easy to go down this slippery slope of focusing on your teen because we're talking about connecting with your teen. And the truth is, if you want better connection with your teenager, it all starts with you. And one of the examples of that, I teach that your relationship with other people in some way is a reflection of your own relationship with yourself. And if you want to improve your relationship with your teenager, start by improving your own relationship with yourself. And that is a hard thing to do because most people don't want to focus on themselves. They don't want to explore what do I think is wrong with me. They'd rather explore what they think is wrong with their teenager. And I'm telling you, the easiest thing to do if you want to, like, one of the things that I hear from moms all the time, I want to stop nagging my teen as much. They're like, that is so hard for me. I just constantly nag. And I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you this. How does your inner dialogue go with yourself? And 90% of the time, when I work with a parent who struggles nagging at their teen, typically they have a nagging internal dialogue that says things like, why would you do that? What's wrong with you? If you
Mm.
want to fix your relationship with your teen, go start with that internal dialogue. Courtney, how is your internal dialogue?
There's room for improvement, but it's a lot better than it has been. Yeah.
The cool thing about internal dialogue, that's one of those things that nobody's going to see. You can work on it in the privacy of your own mind, and it will give you a huge return. And most people, like, I take this really seriously as a football coach because back when I started doing this work, I was really harsh on myself. And there were people in my life that were very harsh on me, my grandparents from time to time, my own parents, my head football coach, that he and I just did not get along. That he would pick favorites, and if you weren't his favorite, he would just chew you out. He'd cuss at you. He'd tell you how bad you suck all the time. Like, we had a player scored 3 touchdowns in a game. We ended up losing because our defense sucks, and the coach just ripped this player for not getting in for a 4th touchdown. And I'm like, but what about all the amazing stuff that he did? Anyways, when I coach football, I know that my teens are very impressionable. And how I talk to them is very likely going to be how they talk to themselves. And so I work really hard to treat them with respect, treat them with kindness. I make fun of them all the time, but I try and do it in an appropriate way that isn't like call the kids like fatty and no, I like give them a hard time, but in a loving, caring way because it's important to me. I want to give them a good example of how to communicate so that they have a better chance of having internal dialogue. Does all that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. I love that you said how you talk to them is how they will talk to themselves, their internal dialogue. If we think about how we talk to our teens, I don't think we would want our teens to communicate with themselves the way we communicate with them.
Yeah.
That's that's powerful. I like that you said that.
And here's the secret. There was a time where I wasn't the greatest at communicating with my players positively because that's not what I grew up with. And in the coaching industry for like football, there's a lot of yelling that happens. And honestly, it upsets me. But most football coaches are just teenage boys in a grown man's body. I had to do my own internal work. I had to talk to myself better. I had to be more understanding, more compassionate. And that positioned me to be more understanding and more compassionate to my football players. So, as a mom, if you want to improve your relationship with your teenager, I want to give you permission to just stop focusing on your teen and find ways to improve your relationship with yourself. In the past, I've done some exercises. Maybe you've done one of these. I would have parents. So I typically work with moms. Moms are easier, but I would have moms like go find a picture of yourself from when you were 5. And next time you have an internal conversation in your mind, talk to that 5-year-old version of you. You will be much more kind than if you're talking to the you that you see in the mirror. Courtney, do you have any pictures of 5-year-old Courtney?
I'm sure I do. Tucked away somewhere.
Yeah, I think we all need to see one of those.
All right, that's I was cute at 5. I don't mind. Listen, positive internal dialogue. Don't laugh at me now.
I need to ask my mom. They sent me pictures once upon a time, but it really works. You will be more kind to a 5-year-old version of yourself, the version that you see in the mirror every day.
I
So,
would love to be a 5-year-old then.
yeah, I'll have to see. I know my parents sent me one. I was chubby, that's for sure. I have this memory. Have I ever told you that I broke my arm twice playing Superman both times?
Oh, Lord. I don't think I've heard that story, no.
Yeah, the first time I was running down the hall, my cape flapping in the breeze, ran straight into the wall, broke my arm, got my cast off, got all healed up, got my cape back, and I tried to fly off of a table. It broke my arm again and never saw my cape after the second time. But I have this memory of me as a 5-year-old at a family reunion and remember those big wheel bikes that had the big, huge front wheel and the pedal attached to the front wheel and then just 2 little fat round wheels?
Wasn't it called the big wheel? What was it called? The plastic ones, right?
Yeah. I thought they were called
Yes.
wheels.
What'd you think they were called?
Big wheels?
That's what I said.
Yeah,
I
so a little trike with a big wheel on the front. Anyways, I have this memory. I was like 5. I had flipped that big wheel over. I had my right hand pedaling the pedal, and I was trying to saw my own cast off, and it didn't work. But, like, I went through a period where I would talk to that 5-year-old version of me, give him feedback, and it's amazing. You are a lot more kind and a lot more compassionate. Yes, that is the bike I'm talking about right there. Yeah, anyone watching on YouTube, you can see it. Those were the best. Like, I don't know why. Well, it actually kind of sucked though, because you could spin that wheel faster than you could get yourself going.
the
Anyway,
it says, "It plays hard and it plays safe," is what it says.
yeah. Oh,
Anyway, sorry, keep going. So you were trying to saw your cast off.
yeah, just a super cute little chubby version of me that I have this memory. I practice talking to that version of me when something goes wrong in my life. I'm frustrated. I would rather speak to that version because I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be patient. Whereas if I talk to 44-year-old version of me, I'm likely asking like, dude, what is wrong with you? Seriously, are you dumb? And that's not how I want to talk to myself. And the trick is when you fix your own internal dialogue, you will start talking to your teen better because that is the filter through which you communicate. So, if you want to improve your relationship with your teen, the first thing you got to do is start improving your relationship with yourself. Now, let's talk about one more hack to connecting with your teen. And then I'm going to share some things that disconnect you from your teen. The second thing about connection, find ways to connect with your teen as they are, who they are. And I am positioned very uniquely in the coaching industry. I have several clients where not only do I work with the teen, but I also work with a parent. Or not only do I work with the parent, I also work with the teen. I can tell you, I have so many teens that tell me, I don't even think my parents like me. I think they would like me if I got better grades. Or I think they would like me if I got more playing time. Or I think they would like me. And it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way. Have you ever experienced that? Or do you remember experiencing that as a teen?
I don't remember. I probably didn't care as a teenager, but that does break my heart. Yeah. I can see how teens would think that their parents don't like them because of how critical we can be, for sure.
I remember going to parent teacher conference. I think I was in junior high. Anyways, like I had teachers that were like, "Oh, I have both your sons. Ben is not very bright and he doesn't work hard in class and we think something might be wrong with him. Jake, he's my little brother who is always so frustrating. People would look at us and be like, which one of you two's older? He's taller than I am, bigger than I am, whatever. I'm still older." And I remember going home and just getting ripped into. My parents are like, why can't you be more like Jake? Guys, I'm here to tell you your teen wants you to connect with them. And as parents, oftentimes we do things that disconnect us from our teen. Don't
Mhm.
compare your teen to your other kids. Don't compare your teen to your neighbors. What were you going to say, Courtney?
No, I'm just thank you. Yeah, you're right. I should stop. No.
Wait, you do this too?
No, sometimes. Like, do you see how kind Jack is to his mom? Like, look at he's not afraid to talk to her in public. He'll give her a hug. He'll touch her. People know that that's his mom. My child, it's like he'll give me like a side eye contact.
Well, here's the reason this is so important. If like, when you compare your teen to other kids, like I fell into the same trap and I have to keep myself from doing it. Like my oldest worked at our local credit union. My second oldest now works there. And like people will tell me like, "Oh man, your number 1 compared to your number 2, night and day difference." It's okay to have the comparison. It's okay to see the differences. Where I try and draw the line is I don't want to position one as being better than the other. And I remember just how I felt like I wasn't good enough as a teen. If you are trying to connect with a version of your teen that doesn't exist, like, why don't you come cuddle with me when we watch movies like Jax? I don't know. Or why don't you get better grades like your little brother? Or why
Mhm.
don't you do this? You are trying to connect with a version of your teen that doesn't exist. And that disconnects you from the version that actually does exist.
Yeah. Trying to connect with a version that doesn't exist has got to make them feel insufficient. And we will always be critical if they are not what we're envisioning,
Yeah.
you know?
Just imagine how impossible that standard is. Like, I have people in my life that nothing is ever good enough. They will find something to critique. This, the, so I wanted to talk about the two things to help you connect to your teen, and then I was going to talk about a handful of things that disconnect you from your teen. Criticism is one of them, and it's because you're trying to connect with a version of them that doesn't exist. Now, let me throw this out there. Courtney, do you have anyone in your life, or have you experienced this where you just love to be with this certain person and they just
Yes.
always make you feel loved and welcomed?
Yes. Yes. I have a couple people.
Yeah. Who are they trying to connect with?
Me.
Just as you are,
Yes.
improv and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
No judgment. Like just unadulterated love. Like it's just the purest. It's a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do you feel when you're in their presence?
I love it. They're some of my favorite people. I just feel good being around them.
Yeah. I bet you also feel confident.
Mhm.
I bet you
Absolutely.
feel accepted.
Yeah.
That is the gift that you can give to your teenager. One of my favorite teachers of all time, his name was Mr. Davies. This dude, I've told this story before, but I don't know if you've ever heard this. I was being a friggin' butthead in class, just disruptive, flirting with all the girls, just being this teenage peacock like I was. And he's like, "Hey, I got a deal for you." And I'm like, "Okay, what's this deal?" He's like, "I understand you want to talk to all these girls. I understand you're pretty tough. I'll challenge you to a wrestling match. And if you can beat me, you can talk to all the girls all you want. Like, you can do whatever you want. You don't even have to do your homework. I'll give you a passing grade." And I'm like, "Okay, awesome." And he's like, "Wait. But if you lose," and I'm like, "Why do we even need to talk about this part? You're like 75 years old. Of course I'm not going to lose." And he's like, "I know, but if you lose, you have to be on your best behavior because I will whoop your butt anytime." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So we move the chairs and we move the desks and we have this wrestling match and he just destroys me.
I remember you telling the story, the old man strength.
Yeah, he's got old man strength and he wrestled in college and was really, really good. The dumb thing is, he's like, "Yo, I cheated on that first time. I wouldn't have beaten you if I didn't cheat. Let's do it again. This time I won't cheat." I was dumb enough to be like, "Psh, well, yeah, that's why you beat me. Let's go again." He beat me again. But the thing I always loved about Mr. Davies, he saw me for who I was. He accepted me for who I was. He connected with me exactly as I was. And I remember I would invite him to go to my football games. And one of my favorite memories was just looking forward to go to school on Monday morning. I'd get there a little bit early, which I'm not the type of person who gets anywhere early. I love to go on Monday morning and talk to him and be like, "Hey, did you go to the game? Like, what'd you see?" He was always just in my corner, was what I felt like. And you can give your teen that gift. And I know it's easier said than done. I've had multiple parents that are like, "Yeah, but Ben, like, my teen sits in my basement and smokes weed and plays video games all day. How do you expect me to connect with my teen in that place?" I'm not saying it's easy. Find ways to connect. If you set your heart on finding a way to connect with your teen, you'll find it. And it doesn't mean that you go hang out in the basement and smoke weed with them. Something else will come to you. You don't have to stoop down to some of their values that you don't value. I guarantee you they have some values that you can connect on. Every teen I know loves food in some way. Maybe you can connect over food. So, Courtney, any questions about those two things of how to better connect with your teen?
No questions. I was thinking when you were talking about that, my youngest wants me, she's like, "Can I please teach you to play Minecraft?" I'm like, "Girl, I don't like video games. Like, I don't want to play Minecraft." And I was thinking just now, like, I should take a few minutes and just learn to play Minecraft or just to even spend that time with her. That would be helpful, I'm sure.
As someone who has gone that route before, 2 warnings. Warning number 1, it is more fun than you think. I played for way too long. Warning number 2, and make you super motion sick. Like, it gets to me after about half an hour, I'm like, "Sorry, I can't play this anymore."
When I see them and they just drop straight down from some tower they built, I'm like, "Mm-mm."
A secret Minecraft hack for any of you parents who have teens that love Minecraft. One of the things I did with my oldest and my second oldest, and my oldest was probably just 13 back then. Anyways, we set Minecraft to creative mode, which means you can just create whatever you want. We built a huge labyrinth and put like chests with like swords and axes and cool things throughout the labyrinth. And then once we got done building the labyrinth, we went into the settings again and we set it to survival mode. And you can pick how hard it is. And we put it on the hardest survival mode. And so we're like trying to navigate through this labyrinth that we built. We know what it's like. But now there's zombies and spiders and skeleton archers. It was pretty fun. And I'm telling you, if your kid likes Minecraft, this is a fun reversal of roles, by the way. Courtney, between this is your youngest, you said? Day to day, who is typically in charge of like how life goes between you and your youngest?
I mean, it depends on the day. Sometimes it's her, sometimes it's me.
Okay, in my house, usually it's like me or my wife. Like, get your shoes on, get dressed, bring a jacket. I know it's warm right now. It might not be warm later. Go get in the car, buckle, like clean your room. Like we go through the whole day being in charge.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
One of the fun things about playing Minecraft, you get to reverse the roles and your kids will take charge. They'll be, Mom, you're getting shot by a zombie. Come on, move over here. And like, it's kind of fun. It gives them an opportunity to be in charge. And that, believe it or not, will help you better connect with your team. Okay, so we've talked about 2 principles that will help you connect with your team. Principle number 1, improve your own relationship with yourself before you focus on trying to fix your team's relationship with you. I promise you, every relationship you have in some way is a reflection of your own relationship with yourself. And if you can improve that by doing simple things like improving your self talk, it will improve your relationship with your teenager. The second one was connect with your teen where they are as they are. Don't fall into the trap of trying to connect with the perfect version of them that gets straight A's as every chore you've ever asked them to. Like that version doesn't exist. Go connect with the one that is right in front of you. The biggest things that will disconnect you from your team. We've already talked about this one. Trying to connect with a version of your team that doesn't exist, that will disconnect you from your team. Also, being harsh, being critical. Why is that word hard to say?
Critical.
Critical. If you're criticizing your teen, I promise you that will have a negative impact on your relationship with them. Also, parents fall into this trap all the time. I teach a concept called the self-coaching model. And this is where you have like circumstances, and then we have thoughts about those circumstances, which create our feelings, which drive our actions, which create our results. If you are trying to manage your teen's model for them, that's going to put stress on your relationship. Don't do it. I promise. That is going to destroy any connection that you want to have with them. And part of why that's so hard, your teen doesn't know this. They're not listening to this podcast. And they're probably guilty of trying to manage your model from time to time. I just like to remember when I catch my teen trying to manage my model, usually I get annoyed, frustrated. I don't enjoy it. And it's not my job to manage my teen so he can try and control my model all he wants. So I'm in charge. And I use it as a reminder like, oh, I don't like it when they try and manipulate me or control me or change me. It's probably exactly how they feel when I try and manage their model. So anything you want to add to any of those principles that will disconnect you?
I think they're all great. I'm just thinking about all the things that I do that might disconnect me that I will work on.
Well, and here's the thing. It's okay to catch yourself doing things that will disconnect you. Like, that awareness is powerful, but I don't want you to like go have a pity party and be like, oh my goodness, I'm doing like 117 things that are disconnecting me from my teen. I want you to have the awareness to be like, oh dang, I'm criticizing right now. That's not who I want to be. I want to build a connection. What can I do instead? Give your teen a compliment. That's like the antidote to criticizing. Yes, we want to have awareness. Here's a handful of things that disconnect me. But we want to bring that focus right back to where we have control. What can I be doing that will better connect me with my team? And you're not going to be perfect. I've been doing this for a long time and I still catch myself creating disconnection between me and my teams. It's not the end of the world. It's just an opportunity to course correct and pick a different way of being.
Yeah, I think it will always be a work in progress. I don't think anyone has ever said just the awareness can help you improve and, you know, have better results more often than not.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
No, that was my 2 cents.
I love it. Here's one last thing I would like to request. I was noticing we haven't had any positive written reviews in over a year. If this podcast, and I get it, I listen to a handful of podcasts that I haven't left a review for them. I'm going to go fix that today. If you have found this podcast to be beneficial, I would ask you to please do two things. Number one, go leave us a positive review. It helps people find the podcast, and it's a really good way for you to help someone just like you who might be struggling with their team. And number two, if you have a particular episode that you're like, dang, this really helped, go share that with family or friends that also have teens. We're on a mission. We want to help as many parents as we can to reconnect with their teens because we know they're going to be our future leaders. We got to treat them right so that they'll treat us right. Okay. Well, I think that's all we got for you today. Come back next week. We'll have something. There are big things in the works. So
Yes. Next week, hopefully a big surprise. I'm so excited.
we have a surprise guest coming next week. And for those of you who keep on asking me, the membership is on its way back. In fact, I've met with a few of you personally that have asked, when is that coming? And I don't have any firm dates yet, but it's coming back. It'll be better than ever. Stick around. You'll want to know more. So, with that, we'll let you guys go. We'll see you next week.